Welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk? I'm your host, Anthony Ray, and this is the 25th episode of Dad Can We Talk, man. And today I got a guest where I just met this man maybe a month and a half ago. I was working. I was at my job working, and I was talking with his son. And every time I would mention something, you know, me and his son, we were just sitting back, we were talking. And I kept hearing his son mention, my dad do this, or man, my dad told me this, or my dad, you sound more like my dad. My dad be saying that same stuff. And the more and more he kept saying my dad, I was like, you know, and the young man was 18, 19 years old. And I was just like, I really don't hear young men talking about their dad like this. And I started asking him questions about his dad, and I was like, man, I think it'd be good for me to sit down and talk with your pops, man. Like, you seem like the type of guy I like, man. And we set it up. I came over to the house, and we sat down and we talked one time for about 4 hours. And you know, it was just real, you know, and I think from that point on, you know, I was like, I like him, man, you know, and I like what I seen. I like the product of his son. You know, I was able to have good conversation with his son for about 2 weeks. And the more and more I talk to the young man, I'm just like, I don't know, it feel like sometimes I can tell when a young man has his dad active in his life. And I could appreciate that, seeing a young black man talk upright about his dad. And so I just think it was only right that I get this man on the show. And I want y'all to welcome to the show my man, Prince.
Hey,
how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Man. So, like I say, man, you know, I definitely had to get you on here, man, because I look at you, you know, like, just from talking to your son, I was like, man, I wish I had that growing up. Yeah. You know, because like I say, I could tell just his whole demeanor, you know, like sometimes you can tell, I know I can tell when a young man didn't grow up with his dad. A lot of times, you know, he you know, I look at myself, you know, I had a lot of issues with self-esteem. Right. And really just kind of knowing myself. And I dealt with that as a young man.
Right.
Talking with your son, I could see he was confident about a lot of things that he had going on. I'm just like, and then the more and more he kept saying, my dad. I'm like, I could tell. Like, I knew it. You know, it was something about him that just spoke. Like, he didn't have this. I think a lot of young men, when they grow up without their dads, they have this. It's almost like you got this chip on your shoulder, especially when you're talking with another black man. A lot of times, you know, you kind of have this defense mechanism, like, because you ain't used to another man talking to you like that.
Right.
But I just didn't get that from your son. I was like, yeah, I can tell, you know, and like I say, bro, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. To God be the glory, man. Yeah, wow. That's a reward all in itself, just to hear those things. And you know, it has been a journey, and you know, constantly sowing. Mm-hmm. And as a parent, sometimes you're so into the process of trying to get them there that all the time you can't see the harvest because you in the field. So I appreciate you, you know, reaching out to say, hey man, I encountered your son, and man, I see him blossoming, and I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of all of them as we continue this journey. It ain't over.
That's real. Yeah, I was texting that joker this morning. He talking about classes. You got a lot of work in classes. I said, yeah. But man, my first question that I like to ask on the show, I like to know, what was your relationship like with your dad? I want you to talk about that.
Wow. My relationship with my dad was probably not ideal, and that's kind of being, you know, nice about it. Really didn't have the instruction from my dad that that my children have had. My father was in the household. I would call him like, like half and half. Not to diminish his role, because one thing my dad was a provider. So bills was paid. I learned that from him. But I also, a lot of men, and we learn this from our dad. Sometimes we think that being a husband or being a father is just providing. I paid the bill, so right. I can carry myself or represent myself any kind of way I want to, because I paid the bill. So just from that from seeing that and experiencing that, there are a lot of things that I had to overcome. And some days, honestly, still overcoming. This is even my life is a work right now. So, what I got from my experience with my dad varies so greatly, and just because of the grace of God, his favor on my life, I didn't follow the same course. I actually, if you ask me, what caused me to or position me to be a good father for my children, I actually learned how to father from one of my best friends, Andrew Boyd. Like he had, we're the same age. We 2 weeks apart, but he had his son. He had his first child, maybe 3 or 4 years. I think Pooh is probably three or four years before I had my first child. And so you was able to watch. I watched him, and when I tell you, bro, put it down, like, and I saw his interaction. I saw him coaching his son, and it went far beyond sports. We think sometimes that it's just sports, but he went so far beyond sports, and little did he know I was watching him. So I took pieces. I just took pieces. And I just kept taking pieces out of the relationship I saw him forming with his sons, and I used those pieces to fill in all the gaps that my dad left, so that when I got in this situation, I had a blueprint. So sometimes you don't get, if you don't have that example in your home, you can get it somewhere else. Like you have to find a mentor. Like as a father, you need a mentor. Right. My mentor at that time happened to be one of my best friends to this day. But he just stepped into the game like he was 18, but you couldn't tell it. He just took responsibility. He started providing, and I watched. I'm like, oh, dog got this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, he did it. I can do it. So, as far as being a father, one of my best friends, we the same age, mentored me in parenting, and but you have to first want to be a great parent. And I wanted to. I didn't have kids yet, but I knew I wanted to do it right, because I wanted my kids to have what I liked.
And you had understood, you not growing up with that father figure like that in your life. It's like you be knowing, like, man, when I have kids, ain't no way.
Right.
Ain't no way I'm gonna let my kids grow up like that.
Right. And for me, it was the gaps that were left by my dad in that realm. But even before that, I was adopted when I was almost 4. So I've never really met my biological parents. So I always struggled with that. And so in dealing with that, and that's just a process of its own. That's a whole show. But in dealing with that, I had to face some truths about that, and that caused me also to say, hey, when my boys, and I have 4 boys and one girl, when they come into this world, their existence will be different, because it's going to include me. So I just made sure, like, you just stick and stay, dog, and that's what I did.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real, man. How old are all of them?
Oh man, 24, 21, 19, 16, no, 18, I'm sorry, and 16. We right there.
Yeah, so all of them both jokers right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So now, based on their ages, like the thing that I'm learning now is different parenting young adults than it is kids. So now, about a year ago, I had to learn how to transition my parenting style, more of a consultant.
Yeah.
Because now, I have adults and, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. I hope that I put some things in you so you will relate to what I'm telling you at this point in your life. But as a parent, once they get out of your house, you are a consultant, and you want them to consult with you when need be, but you also want them to be strong enough to go on. But so I had to kind of switch up my parenting style and kind of learn some things. So parenting and being a good father is a never ending process. Right. You have to evolve because they're going to be growing and they're going to change and need different love a different way. But they always gonna need your love, but they just may need it a different way.
That's real. That's real, man. And that's something that I like to I like to ask parents that have I like to ask parents who have teenagers right now or have already been through that process and just listening to the age of your children. It's like you say, you have to transition now because you got two more that are teenagers,
right?
About to go into their 20s,
yeah,
and
right.
That's just a whole nother game right there because now, if they go to college or once they get jobs or they start having children and all that stuff, it's just a whole nother thing, man. But I want to ask you, what was it like in those teenage years, because all of them at one point were teenagers together, right?
Yeah, at some point we was all out there trying to get it together.
Yeah.
Big Pop Warner Saturdays, big AAU Saturdays, big everything, big coolers, a lot of sandwiches, all of that. Yeah. We all did.
So when it comes to like sports, did all of them play sports?
At some point, yes.
Yeah. So what was that experience like? Dealing with sports.
Dealing with sports. Well, most of my kids I coached the whole time.
Okay.
I coached basketball. I coached a little football. Whatever. I think one time I called myself teaching a little bit of cheer. Yeah. Like you just got to get in there. You know. So it was man. It was a great time. Honestly, it is tiring. It is a sacrifice. Sports is expensive for your kids. But I look back now, and man, like I wouldn't change it. Like I do think that sometimes in black households, and I don't want to speak for every household, but I've just seen this a lot. Mm-hmm. We emphasize sports so much that we don't develop other parts of our of our children. And I read one of your questions, and it said, if you if you made a mistake parenting, what would it have been? And I don't call it a mistake; it's just an oversight. Like in black households, we don't talk about like shaping who our kids are politically. I didn't do that. Yeah. And sometimes now I look and I'm like, wow, I could have contributed something there. We put a whole lot of sports in, and but there are some things that our counterparts are teaching and sowing into their kids that we're not. But we so hard on basketball, AAU, all summer football, spring football, cheer camp, gotta go. And all those things are good. They need that. Like, I would not have taken that away. But there's some things I would have put in there as well. Like, yeah, we're going to Daytona to the Big Sun shootout. Yeah. But when you come back, you're going to learn how to code. Because at the end of the day, like, you can't pay your bills with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, set them up to win in the big game. And like, teach them very early. Like, and I taught that through sports because of my mindset in sports. I think they'll all tell you, like, I'm a pretty aggressive dude. Like, I want to win, period. Like, I'm not coming out here to look good in this uniform. Like, we coming to win. So I've always, kind of reinforced being competitive and really just showing you that like, life is chess, not checkers. And in that mindset, I could have gave him a few more pieces doing that period. It's working out, but I see where I could have advanced the game for him. That's real. Little bit.
Man, I talked with one of my boys earlier. We were just on the phone, man, and he was telling me how I was asking him about his sons and stuff, and he was just saying how one of his sons just kind of told him, like, Dad, I'm straight on the whole football thing. He was like, his son was good, and it was like, but that ain't really where he want to go. And he was like, ever since he started teaching, they moved out to the country, and he was like, he started teaching his son, how to fix on lawnmowers and all of these different things. And he was like, at first his son was just kind of like, man, I don't feel like doing this part. But he was like, after a while, he started to realize, like, man, the more and more I learn these, now that I'm learning these skills, I can go and help my neighbor and I can make some money.
Right.
And he was like, so now his son is just like, well, shoot, man, if I can go over here and make $80, cutting these people yard every week, man, I'm finna go make some money. Right. It was like, so now his son, learning how to use the tiller and all of these things. And he's like, his son is becoming more like that. And he was like, he was never really big on the sports, but his son had liked it or whatever. Right. So he was just kind of supporting him. But he was like, his son just recently came and told him, like, I'm good on that, Dad. Like, I want to learn, how to use these tools. I want to learn how to use my hands. Right. And he was like, okay, cool. Right. Now he's teaching him, how to fix on the roof and all of these different things. And he was like, his son he's more like, I want to learn how to make money. He was like, he go on YouTube and learn how to fix on the air conditioning thing and all of this stuff. And he's like, that's what he do. And I'm like, man, that's what's up. Like, and I feel like that's the type of stuff we have to do, because like you say, there's always this big emphasis on sports. Right. And it's only a small percentage of these kids that's gonna make it. Anyways, it's like, now it's fine to have the dream or whatever. Like, it ain't nothing, I ain't gonna say it's bad, but it's like, that can't be your only thing, because if that's your only dream, when that dream die, and that reality set in, man, that's a whole different thing, and then when that reality set in, you 23, 24, 25, and you looking like, okay, the whole basketball dream thing done, football done, and you haven't taken anything, like, now what, because all your life, that's all you've ever focused on. And, and I think that's why it's so important to have a dad there especially a dad that's focused and understands those things, because even for me, I look at myself, not growing up with that dad. I had that basketball dream for a minute, even though I never was really that good like that. But I still always had in the back of my mind, I'm going to the NBA, and then when it died, and I finally came to terms with that, like, man, why I'm tripping? Why I ain't gonna never make it to the NBA? What I'm thinking about? Right. I ain't even going to college for this. And once I woke up to that idea, like, dang, what am I gonna do now? Right. Like, what am I even doing with my life?
Right.
And I think when I got to that point, it lost me. Like that's when I started doing a lot of the things that some people don't even know a lot of the stuff I did. But a lot of the things that I did in my life that led me to Christ,
right,
it was when that point hit. You
right.
know, when I realized that I wasn't, I'm like,
that you can't bless yourself.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, and it was literally like a wake up call. Like, man, boy, I ain't even got no purpose.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I think that I sometimes, you know, think like, what would have happened if I had that male role? Not even just my dad, you know, just had a male role model that was there, right. You know, trying to lead and guide me. And but that's a very good point that you make with that whole sports thing, because I think a lot of people, we don't, like I say, it's not a bad thing. But like, if that's the only thing we're teaching our children, like, we gotta teach our children our history. You know, like a lot of young black men, I talk with them, they don't even understand black history. Like,
right.
You ain't know that,
right?
You know but if you ask them about the Celtics or the Patriots, they know all that. Right. But like, if you ask them simple, you know, like even about what it was, man, the 20s. Black Wall Street.
Right.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
You ask a lot of young black men that.
They don't understand.
And they like, huh? I ain't never heard about that.
That's why they're so easily like pulled away or misguided, because their information is so shallow. Like they only know what happened like the last 2 years. And you know, that's our responsibility too as fathers to ground them. Yeah. Because we have to be constantly grounded, and we have to ground them, let them know, hey, this is connected to this. This is why you're experiencing this. There are some differences. You are a black man. There are going to be, it's not equitable. Now, I don't want you to adopt a victim mindset.
Yeah, straight up.
But I do want you to be aware.
Yeah,
so that when you face these things, you will know how to respond, because your response is everything. Right. Like, you know, and you know, just to talk about it from the sports standpoint, I'm a big sports guy. Yeah, I love youth sports. I think it is great. I did it hard. But I do think that as black families, we do need to, as much as we push sports, we also need to be, and I'm not talking from a mountaintop like I got this right. I'm really talking about what I think I got wrong, and hopefully in hopes that helps someone. We gotta push the other side, but one thing I always thought about, and I did, like in front of my kids, one thing they'll tell you, boy, my daddy, he's a hustler. He gonna go to work. Yeah. He gonna have a business going on. Yeah. He gonna have something popping. So they understand the need to get it. But I always looked at, you know, in particularly my sons, the dynamic around. My daughter is different because she will be someone's wife. But for my sons, I always look. I always thought to myself, hey, you raising somebody's husband. You raising somebody's daddy. Like, you got to equip them to be successful in that now. Even though, you know, through the process, they saw me be unsuccessful, obviously. But so what I did, even with my failures, like, just be very transparent about it. Gotcha. Like, bro, this didn't work because of this. Yeah. Like, if you do this, you're gonna get the same result. Don't do what I did. Like, I just never really tried to hide anything from her, and we just talk about it and we keep it pushing. But, you know, just keeping that mindset as fathers, that, you know, your son today, Lil Johnny, is somebody's daddy. Lil Johnny, that man right there, is going to be responsible for your grandkids. That is somebody's husband. Like, if you think about it that way, I think we will equip our black men differently from tiny, like Mighty Mike football. Start thinking about it this way. He a little kid, but one day So start giving him tools to be a good provider, to be wise, younger. Share it, teach them. Like I started teaching like credit to my kids. Like this is something that as black people we learn through failure. Like we learn through because they keep telling me no. Yeah. Like why I can't get nothing? Well, it's because you never set yourself up. So just developing them wholly and not just developing one aspect of their life. I think like that's the next level for us as black fathers.
Yeah, man, it's funny. One day I was we were at work. I was talking with Jordan, and he started saying something about credit. He was like, "Yo, man, I'm working on my credit," and I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, I don't never hear y'all dudes talk like this, and it was just so like. Man, I love that look. I love that cat, man. Because I'm just sitting there talking with him, man. He went to tell him about credit, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, I want me a big family one day, man. When I finish school, I want to go to Houston, man. Then one day, maybe after I raise my family over there, I come back, bring him back to Florida for a little." And it's just like he got all of these ideas, and I'm just like, I done talked to a lot of young dudes, bro.
Right.
I talked to a lot of them.
Right.
They don't be talking like that.
Yeah, it's different.
and it's just, he went to tell him, man, yo, bro, like one day I'm gonna have me a wife. Not right now, but like one day. And it was just the conversations that I had with him. I'm like, it's different.
Right.
I don't have these conversations.
Right.
Most young dudes that I talk with, I'm trying to get them to think like, yo, bro, one day, boy, you going to start thinking about your credit, bro.
Yeah.
One day, boy, you going to have a family.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're doing and where you're going. And like I say, man, that I like with what you did with at least the one son that I know of yours.
They all
like him, bro.
They're all pretty cool,
Yeah.
He's talking about things that we talk about. Like talking about his credit. That's a conversation that we have. And just teaching them the mechanics of it. I don't want them to be blinded by it. I want them to be able to go down there if their wife want this. Hey, go down there, get it. That's it. Yeah. But you have to start equipping them to do that with information. So he digests a lot of information. It's so funny to hear you say that though. Like in my heart, like I'm smiling right now because for real, sometimes I be looking at him like, do you hear me? Like, bro, like what? But I know he gets it. I know they all get it because they all come back at different points. And I'm to that stage in this thing now where I can kind of sit back and be like, oh, okay, yeah, she heard me. Oh, he heard me. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, well, to God be the glory. But we gonna make it one day. We gonna be all right. I might not be in the nursing home one day. That's the goal. That's the whole goal. Just have them together.
Yeah. And see, and one thing I can say also to give you that reassurance, I seen that in myself. Now, when I did first I would say my pastor was my first like real male role model.
Right.
Like the first man that was just like, yeah, bro, like I'm gonna be here with you.
Right.
And we gonna do this together. And it was like that type of relationship. And I would get mad with him a lot of times. And he would be trying to tell me certain things. And I'm just like, man, he talking.
Right.
And I know at times he used to be feeling like, man, this man don't be hearing me.
Right.
But I would hear him, I'll go home and it'll echo in my mind like, dang, well, Pastor did say this, right? He did talk to me about this, right? Or boom. And it would, just in that moment at times, I'm just like, man, he don't know what he talking about. He don't know.
Right.
And we'll go back and forth about a certain thing, or he might just say something. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But then when I encounter that situation, it's like
it come back.
Man, he said that.
It come back.
And it come back. So I think, that might be what they do. I know that's what they do.
Yeah.
And I think we all got that in us,
like. Yeah. We did it.
Yeah.
We did it. I think that's what, I think that's what has kept my relationship with them so good is that I remember that I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't try to like talk from the mountaintop like I done conquered the world and, you know, the world is mine. Mm-hmm. You know, I just keep it 1,000. Like, bruh, if you do this gonna happen. Yeah. A, B, C, D. That's the outcome, you know. Yeah. And sometimes they feel like in me saying that I'm calling it, but really what I'm telling you is that I've lived this thing, and certain decisions, no matter who make them, bring about this result. So right. You know, so as a father, sometimes we're given that guidance, and we don't feel like the seed is making it in the ground. But when they hit them situations, like sometimes they just gonna learn it that way. They gonna have to hit that wall. I can't say to you, hey, bro, I wouldn't do this because this, and they'll go and do it. And you know, you gotta even love them there. I think like recently, like in the last year, I had to, and this is part of my transition as a parent to as consultant. Now, instead of if I tell you don't go, you can't go. So you have to transition from that once they hit a certain age. So in my transition, I think one of the things that has helped me the most is learning that I had to learn to love them where they are, versus thinking about it as if, man, I know I told her or I told him this or that. And why they didn't do it that way? Well, they're not there yet. But what they need you to do is just love them right where they are, because every seed needs to be watered. You put a seed in them, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like in no case do you plant anything and it come up the same day.
All right, straight up.
In no case. Like what grows in a day? Nothing. So the words and the wisdom that we, as fathers, that we're sowing into our children, they're seeds. So we have to understand that, you know, although I give it to you today, you may not blossom in it tomorrow, but I have to be mature enough. And I wasn't. Like, I'm telling you something that I just discovered. Like, I'm not, like, I don't never talk to people like from a place of victory, like I got this thing all figured out, because that's not it. Like, if you interview me again in 3 months, I'm gonna learn something, because I'm experiencing these things, and I just experienced this. Like, to get the return from what I'm investing in you, and that's not monetary, that's like knowledge.
Straight up.
I have to water it. What is the water? The water is me loving you even when I don't agree with you.
Straight up. Like,
and that creates an opportunity. It created opportunity for me to grow, but it gives them an opportunity to grow. Now that don't mean I don't be super frustrated. That don't mean none of that. Like, oh my God, like sometimes it is a lot, you know, to watch them go through, but learning to love them where they are, like last year, like it kind of like set me free a little bit. Like, okay, you got to learn, and I got to love, period. So
that's real, bro. That's real. It's real game right there, man. For the dads out there listening, that's some real game. Y'all better take it. While it's coming, you better take it. Man. So, at some point you've been through being a single father.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Talk to me about that experience.
Oh my God. So the single father experience is one, like, I don't want to say every father needs to experience it, because ideally, you know, we're in tight families, obviously. But, you know, let's just talk about it in the context that we're saying. Every father needs to have that time one-on-one with your child where you raise them. One, it gives you a better respect for what women go through all the time. That was a very valuable lesson to me. Like, my youngest son, Chris, he lived with me in Atlanta from, I think I got Chris when he was in 2nd grade, and he lived with me until he was in 6th or 7th grade. And man, trying to make it happen, boy. Got to get off work, hit the daycare, boom. You know what I'm saying? Pick him up, shoot him over here. Got to get home, change. You got to go to practice. to football practice, and I'm coaching. So all of those things, we need to have value for, but it builds a different type of relationship too, and it's very, very important. Like the relationship part, like you just get a different depth. Thinking that parenting happens on the weekends is not it. Like this parenting thing, like being a father, is no days off from it. Like if you ain't checked in, like, and this is not to be critical of anybody, because I've been in every boot, I done wore every shoe in this, and I can only tell you because I done done it.
Yeah.
Like parenting don't happen on your every other weekend. Like it happens every single day. So there's a value in being a single dad. One is going to develop your relationship with that child, but it's going to develop you in a place that I don't think you can be developed any other kind of way. It's a patience that you can't get no other kind of way. It's a love that grows an extra footing that you can't get no other kind of way. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. Like really, it's nothing negative I want to say about it. Yeah. It's just something that if you're able to do it, and I know there's a lot of obstacles to being able to do it. If you're able to, like, embrace it, embrace it. My daughter has lived with me. That's different. So if you got daughters versus boys, I done both, boys and girls. It is different. Girls they have a lot more. I had to figure out, along with all this right here, you need to make sure it's nail appointments made, hair appointments made, all of this stuff go with it. If you wake up late, like it's over with. It's just different. But again, it's the most valuable time that you'll ever spend with your child. And I'm talking about when you are first chair, not dropping them off to mom. You know what I'm saying? Mom, I got my son. You gonna no, like, man, do it. Like it just creates a relationship and a bond that is hard to break. It's hard to break that. So
and that's real.
It's a big deal, man.
I think this was 2017. At one point, we were basically homeless. Right. And my wife and my two youngest kids ended up having to go up to Chicago for like 4 months. And me and my oldest daughter stayed here. I had to go back to my mom's house, man. And, that experience right there, for one, just for me, it changed everything about me. Right. Because that experience was one that I don't even be wanting to even talk about it sometimes, because it was intense. It was intense. It was hard, to deal with, not have, dealing with my inner thoughts about myself as a wife, as a husband and as a father, dealing with that, like, I let my family down, this, that, but then knowing that I got my daughter right here, right, and she still need me, right, like, and I gotta be like that right there, like our bond is like something like different. I got a bond with all my children, but that bond between me and her is like she was like literally somebody I had to lean on for those months, missing my other children, missing my wife. And she was just always that constant right there when I get off work. Like, I got to go get my baby. It ain't no who else gonna go get her. Right. Besides my mother. And my mother at times, she like kind of like, I mean, I can watch for this long, but let's get it. And so I ain't never try to put that pressure on my mom like that. So at all times I'm like, I gotta go get my baby. Like as soon as I get off work. Right. And at that time, I was trying to Uber and everything around that time. I'm just trying to make money however. Right. I'm like, well, I got to get my family back. But through that, like, anytime I wasn't trying to make some money, my baby was with me.
Correct.
That's the only time, if I
sometime when you making it. In my experience, he's gonna be right here.
Yeah, Jordan told me.
He's gonna be right here.
Me, yeah.
Matter of fact, he gonna use something. Yeah, let's get it, everybody.
Yeah, and like you say, man, like that experience, you know, for those 4 months, man, I was just like, me and her, we grew so much, you know, and she was young too, you know, she was 3 years ago, she was 4 at the time, right. So you know, and that she was asking questions, and you know, and I appreciate my daughter so much because she always kept it real with me, you know, she would say stuff like, "Well, Daddy, when mommy coming back home?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Baby, we still trying to figure that out right now," you know. And she just like, "Well, whenever mommy come back home, we never supposed to do stuff like this. Family's supposed to stay together. You know, she saying stuff that was real, you know. And at times, you know, I'd be like, I ain't trying to hear that, but she was real with it, you know, and it kept me motivated. Like, man, my baby know what's going on,
right? You
know, she's seeing everything, you know, like when my brother coming back home,
right?
Why we living with me, Mom?"
Right.
Why we over, like, you know, she just asking all these questions, and she kept me on my toes, you know, and just that bond that me and her have right now is crazy, you know, and like I say, and I ain't got no favorites, you know.
Right.
But I see a bond there that I know, and I know why there's a bond there because of that time me and her spent for those 4 months where it was just me and her.
Right.
You know, and that, like I say, I never want to go through it again.
Right.
You know, Lord willing, I'll never want to have to go through that again. But in that situation, I took advantage of the growth.
The growth, it's a lot.
Man, bro, that growth right there, man. For them 4 months.
It make you recognize, like, when I was over here, this is what my wife was putting up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it make you say, oh, man. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it don't. So the dinner don't get cooked automatically. When right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real, bro.
Get out work.
It's real.
Bust it out. Like, do
all
it.
That. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. And during that time, I kept telling God, man, God, you let me get my family back. I'm gonna be a better husband. I'm gonna be a better father. I'm gonna be, you know, every day that's my prayer. Like, God, just let me get them back. You know, because it was just hard. You know, in my mind, I'm like, I might not ever see my wife again. I don't know what might happen. Right. I could die. She could die. The kid, like, crazy thoughts going through my mind. But I was just like, God, just let me get them back.
Right.
Like, if you let me do that, I'm gonna be better. You know. And just the character that was built through that time, like, I just became better, you know, just mindset, you know, and still got I'm still working on so many things, but like I say, that right there was just hard, bro. It was just a hard situation, but it was probably one of the best things that could have happened for me. It was probably one of the best. Yeah, I would have never been where I am in my mind right now. You know, it was hard, but I believe God allowed everything to happen for a reason.
Absolutely, you know? Absolutely. Most times we are developed through our pain. It's through our sacrifices that God shapes us and prunes away things and replaces things with Him and replaces it with His Spirit. Even your spirit to endure through that time, like, it was preparing you to be able to handle this platform, because there are no platforms for Black fathers in a positive light. But you had to be developed, and the only way to be developed sometimes is get in a stretching season, like where everything is stripped away. The thing you love the most, He'll pause it. Yeah. Hey, get your mind right. I have so much for you. And, you know, even as fathers, I've been through some, man, you know, and as a lot of fathers do that go through divorce and all of that, you encounter a system that can be weaponized to basically do damage to your life. At some point, it's not even about the kids, but and all that I went through in all of those situations, I chose to be better. Like it would have been so easy at times to say, man, it ain't even worth trying to get there to see or pick them up because I know I got to go through this and I got to go through that. But you have to endure and you have to press your way. That's true in every area of your life. Anything worth having, and being a father is no different. There's times you just gotta press your way. Like it don't come easy. Like it's thankless sometimes. It's lonely a lot of times. Right. It's one of the greatest challenges that you will ever take on, but it's one of the most rewarding. How I know that is because of what you said to introduce this show. Everything that I have experienced on this journey was worth it. To hear you say that, is worth it. But you have to, like as a father, you got to accept that there are going to be some potholes in this road. It may even be a cliff. I done fell off the cliff. Yeah. But when I hit the bottom, I just got back up and started climbing back to the top. Just start climbing back to the top. You can't stay down there because, again, you raising somebody's father. You raising somebody by their husband, and they gonna be exactly what they saw you be. Unless they choose different. I'm a product of making a different decision. Like I chose not to be what I saw, but I want to equip my sons and my daughter not to have to choose. Like you have an example, do it. So when you hit that system, it's not fair all the time. And I know we use it. I mean, and we'll say, hey, it is what it is, bro. I can't even tell you that it's a magic dust to sprinkle on that because it's not. You're going to have to do what you did in that situation. As fathers, we just have to dig down and get to another place of love for our children and say, no matter what I go through, I'm not going to leave you. And I promise you, I'm not telling you this because it sounds like I read a pamphlet on it. Yeah. I'm telling you this because I had to do it. Like I literally had to give myself a pep talk. Like, because there were times I just it's not worth it. My flesh said it wasn't worth it. But my heart and my spirit, it was overly committed to see the day that somebody say about my children what you just said. Yeah. Like, that was the goal. That was the goal. I want them to be complete. I want them to be whole. I don't want them to struggle with the things that I've had to struggle with. And there have been many, many struggles. Many struggles. This is not a perfect work. But I wanted them to have a shot. Just have a shot. And if you want your son, you want your daughter to have a shot, like in this game of life and be equipped to win, man, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Yeah. You're going to have to make some. You're going to take some stuff. You're going to be talked to any kind of way. You're going to have to look at them out the corner of your eye, but not let your son see you talk to a woman any kind of way. You're going to slip even in that. Sometimes you're a human being. It's real. Get up. You're going to have bad experiences. You're going to have bad experience. Dang, I didn't want my son to see that. Okay, your son saw it. Don't let him see you wallow in it. Get straight. I done had to get straight now. Yeah. I done had to get straight. This thing has not, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to, I don't want to communicate to anybody that this was just, like I'm just, because I'm not. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. What I am is committed. Yeah. I'm just committed. I was just committed to their lives. I'm still committed. I'm going to be committed. I'm committed when I don't agree with them. And that's about 50% of the time at this point in life. Straight up. But guess what? It don't matter. Let's just be quiet for a minute. I'm not going to say nothing to you. Don't you say that to me. Because right now I need a break because I don't want to say the wrong thing to you. Yeah. I don't want to say the wrong thing to you because words stay. You can say you sorry, but you said it. Yeah. You understand? So sometimes you do have to, at this point in it, you do have to like pause the game. Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead and go through your process. But I can't let you take me through your process with you. So you have to let them go ahead and go through it. But you have to be committed. Yeah. You have to be committed when they 7 and 8 and you dealing with what's left over after split, you got to be committed. When they get 18 and you think, oh, it's all gravy, they grown, I'm out this system, yada yada, I'm straight, I got my check back. Guess what? There's a gear that you got to get after that.
Yeah.
Cause now you're their consultant.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna agree with what you see.
Yeah.
So commitment to them, to being a father, that's like level one. And you got to do it the whole journey. You got to pray. You got to love. Man, if I haven't said pray more than 10 times already, I'm really slipping, because it's only because of my prayer life.
Yeah.
As a father, if you don't have a prayer life, that's where you're really most vulnerable. Because what I have survived and now have victory over, I could not do without God. I could not do without my prayer life. Like, man, you're gonna have to pray your way through this thing, because it's more common than not now that as a father you're gonna have some type of little situation going on across that table. She ain't looking at you like with googly eyes no more. You that dude now, and she her. You don't even say her name, her.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it is, bro. But guess what? You got to be committed to them kids. You got to have a prayer life, because the only person that's going to get you through that is above. Yeah. The only reason, bro, like I made it through that, what I had to sacrifice and give up to just be there and endure, is because of the grace and mercy of God. That's along so with my commitment to my kids having what I didn't have. Yeah. Like, that's gotta just always be number one. Like, you gotta always come back to that. And I'm here to tell you, it gets blurry. Yeah. Like, that can be your number one, but sometimes that number one, in the heat of the battle, it's gonna seem so far away. Like, man, like, what? Like, why would you? But you just gotta keep striving. Just like you did. Yeah. You got to just put your head down and know, man, it's victory on the other side. All right. There's a lot of days I didn't think it was, man. Yeah. I just didn't think it was. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that God favored me a lot of times, all the time, and that I'm here today. Mm-hmm. Like, and able to sit here and have this conversation with you. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm blessed. I'm free. I'm empowered, and I'm able to empower people and encourage them that you can win. Yeah. Like, it's not like because y'all not together, like because of whatever the situation is there between adults. And if I could say anything about that, it would be this to fathers and mothers. Hey, man, put them kids first. Yeah. Cut that out, man, because although like we pretty solid. Yeah. But I'm at a point right now that in my conversations with my children, honestly, I see the residue from them being products of a tense relationship. Let's just call it that. Yeah. And in hindsight, like when I look at it, those moments where I wasn't my best, or she wasn't her best, like we as parents should have made different decisions. Because you said something very powerful. You said that your daughter would come to you and ask and say, hey, as a family, we supposed to be together. Mm-hmm. Hey, why is my brother not here? Hey, let's not do this again. Yeah. What that is telling you is that not just that, baby, they're all watching us. And they don't click it on and off for the good. Oh, something good happened to record. Oh, something bad happened, cut that off. No, they record it all, bro. Yeah. They record it all. Like now, like me and Jordan had, since you're referencing him, me and him have had conversations, and I look at him like, dang, boy, you remember that?
Yeah.
Dang, you heard that? Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. You know, they're listening. So as a father, it's hard to walk away from those intense conversations. But walk away if it's possible. Mama, if you can avoid it, avoid it. Like, put them first. The system ain't your friend. It ain't his friend. It ain't the children's friend. Like, that system that people weaponize, a lot of times it's from woman to man, but it also go both ways. If we just living in that world, well, now it go both ways. It just causes not the best situation for the kid. Communicate. The better your communication is as a father with that mother, and that mother with that father. Y'all don't have to be together, but that communication, it makes them healthier. Like, I see now at this stage in the game, I see where that could have been a little different in him or her had we communicated better. So don't sacrifice nothing. Like, don't sacrifice nothing in your kid's life because you feeling some type of way about whatever. Like, forgive them. Forgive her. Forgive him. And put the kids first. Like, forgiveness is the key. Be committed to them. Be committed to them enough that you can forgive each other and create a healthy situation for them. And I'm thankful because my kids are healthy. They're productive. But I'm saying they could be better.
Yeah.
You know, like, they don't have to have that in them. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have to have that. Yeah. You know, it may not be like, but they don't have to have that. And you know, I coached a long time, talked to a lot of kids. It's just a gift that God has given me. Young people connect with me. I connect with them. And I hear a lot of young people say to me, you know, it's the relationship that they have or lack of with one of the parents. And a lot of times that's because the parent is injecting the child into a grown adult situation.
Can't do that.
And I don't know why I'm going there. It's for somebody, but I'm just telling you from my experience. Like, in my experience, it's not the end all be all. If it worked for you, use it. If it don't, cool. But I'm telling you, like, it don't have to be that way. And it just starts with level 1. Step 1 is forgive the other person. Do what God has commanded. Forgive and love. And your kids will be healthier. You'll be a better father immediately. You'll be a better mother immediately because you're creating a better environment for them.
That's real. But that's some real talk there, boy. Like I said earlier, free game. You better take it while it's here. If you're listening out there. But one thing you said that you said something a little earlier about it reminded me of something that one of my friends' mom told me while he was in prison. And I was driving her up to the prison to go see him. And I think she was telling me how she had like 3 of her kids were in prison. And she was a praying woman. And man, that woman was in that car one day with me, man, and I'll never forget what she told me. That she said, you know, Rashad, I see how you are with your kids. And she said, right now they're in your lap. But she said, when your kids get older, they leave your lap and they go into your prayers. And she said, that's where my kids at right now. She said, I pray. And this woman just went to pouring her heart out to me, just like how she just praying that one day God gonna just help her children, get them out of that system, just help them turn their life around. And she was just like, you know, I miss the days when my kids were in my lap. She was like, dang. She was like, every time I see you, you have your children. She said, you know, you better cherish that time. Because after they leave out of your lap, the only place they gonna be, they gonna be in your prayers. She's saying you gonna have to start praying for them children. And I will never forget, that was, about 4 years ago. When that woman told me that, I'll never forget that. You know, and I knew it was real. I could feel it. I'm like, no, that's real. What she was talking that day, and I just seen, you know, her situation and just the pain and the anguish of just how she was just telling me all these things, and I'm like, dang, like that's so real, man. And you know, just asking God to really prepare me for that time, you know, and that's why I like to have these conversations with other men. You know, I always say about Dad, Can We Talk? Dad, Can We Talk ain't about no perfect daddies. You know, this ain't about, you know, me.
Because I'm on here.
Like, oh yeah, I ain't looking for no perfect dads.
Right,
I ain't looking for no perfect parents. You know, and I always tell people, you know, this show ain't about me being some perfect dad. Like, this is a show about, like you said, commitment. I'm committed to being a better father every day.
Every day.
You know,
every day.
Like, and in order for me to be better, I like to sit down with other men and hear their stories. You know, hear their challenges, hear their downfalls, share my downfalls, share my challenges, so that other people can hear these things, and hopefully, you know, we can all help each other, you know, and help encourage and uplift each other. Because, bro, it's like you say, it ain't, I don't ever want to get out to nobody. You know, when I'm at work and I be talking with cats who don't have children, I'm telling you what's real. Boy, you better,
facts.
You better pick the right woman. You know, you better prepare yourself now. You know, I go to talking with them jokers about daycare costs. I go to talking with them jokers about them long nights, especially when the baby's little. You know, I'm like, boy, this here, you know, and I always say, I think a lot of cats see me on Facebook and on Instagram and all that stuff and see, you know, the pretty pictures with them kids and with my wife. And I'm like, yeah, it look good on social media, bro. And I say, boy, you don't know the stuff we were going through on that day. You know, you don't know. The person taking that picture, they capture a moment. Boy, that moment can change from good to bad in the next. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. Like, don't look at my life on social media and you see all these good things, these pretty pictures. Or when people come to my house and you see these pretty pictures on the wall. Like, nah, it's real, bro. It take a lot to be a father and to be a husband and to be committed to these children. You know, to be committed to a wife. You know, be committed, just committed, period. You know, committed to the Lord. Like, this stuff is real. Man, life ain't nothing, man. Life ain't nothing to play with, boy.
Man, unfortunately, it's a lot of young men making decisions about fatherhood and about life in general based on what they see on social media. But I have never yet seen a person gonna put their best foot forward. Like, nobody shows you their process. And, you know, and that's where I try to show my process to anybody I come in contact with about whatever. I'm just gonna be very transparent with you, because people are making decisions based on like parenting.
Somebody else's best moment.
That's their best moment. Like, they living their very best life, and all of it really is a lie. Cause you know, like, you can't make decision like that. Being a father, man, it's a grind, bro. It's like, we like to see the pictures of me and my son. We had on our 11s with our polo t-shirt, and you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's cool. I ain't knocking that. That's cool. But there is a place in this process where you're going to have to choose who get the 11s.
All right.
Straight up. We ain't all going to be in 11, dog. Like, we not. Especially if you mess around and get more than one. Like, come on, man. Like, And, you know, and then because you had this mindset because of social media, like people take pictures with money stacked on their ear and all that, but in the reality of life, bro, life goes on between income taxes.
All right.
Facts.
Talk about it.
Facts. You gonna be a daddy still in June and July. Right. That's gone, bro.
All right.
That's gone. Y'all took them nice pictures in February. Everybody got their new 11s on and whatever. July coming, son.
All right. That's
like,
real.
This is not, like, there's no paid vacation. There ain't no checks come specifically to support you as a dad. Nothing. It actually, like, transfers your money away from you.
Yeah.
Like, accept that. Like, don't be out here 17, 16 years old looking at these pictures thinking that, oh, it's sweet. This my little man. Yeah, he gonna be a football player. Who gonna pay his registration? You need a job. You need a skill.
All right.
Before you start thinking about any of that, what you thinking about? Howard, mom, my baby, I know he gonna go.
All right.
It costs money for your son to go. Your son need a trainer.
All right.
Like, your son need these things. Your son need this. I can give you a whole list. I can tell you exactly how much it costs to have your son physically ready to be a D1 athlete. There's a lot of extras in that.
Yeah.
So don't look at these pictures and think that it's sweet. Like, bro, like, it's very rewarding. I would not change it.
Straight up.
It's very rewarding. But it's rewarding because I was committed.
Yeah. And that commitment come with a price.
Man, that commitment costs, man. Period.
Right. Straight up.
It costs, bro. And when I say cost, I don't want to just, like, attach that to money.
Yeah. All right.
Obviously, it costs money.
A lot of times, the money ain't the issue.
The money ain't the issue.
Right.
The cost I'm talking about is internal.
All right.
Like, you're that boy's leader. You're his model. He gonna do what you do. Like, that costs. Because now you got to think about what you saying, what you doing, where you going, what you not doing. Are you feeding him spiritually? Is he getting the right education? You got like, all of
taxing,
that.
Bro.
Man, it's taxing, bro.
If
you're doing it right.
Remind me of the scripture where Jesus told the people, he say, if you want to follow me, count the cost.
Count the cost now.
Count the cost, because, like, even with the people that were following him, it looked sweet.
Sweet. We with Jesus.
Oh yeah.
To them people show up.
Hey, bro, but we eating, bro. Like, man, this man making the bread and the fish, and Jesus had to tell, nah, bro, it ain't about this.
It's a cost.
Like, if you gonna follow me, and then he started saying stuff like, in order to gain life, you gotta lose your life. You lose your life, you gain it. Oh, what you talking about, man? Well, that does kind of sound crazy. But you ain't literally losing. In order to gain that life, you got to lose. Losing the life is dying to yourself, to your own selfish stuff. And you got to die to your selfish ways. Like, and I look at that, I can take that to fatherhood.
Right, he was a father to us. That's what Christ is to us. He went to the cross for us. He gave it all.
Straight up.
He gave it all. So what more should we be doing for our son? Like, we're in that same father position, shepherd position.
Yeah.
But we don't want that process. We want the post. Yeah. We want to post it.
Yeah.
But man, there's more to it than that post. It has a cost. So when you're making decisions about being a father and you young right now, count the cost. Are you ready to die to yourself?
Straight up.
Not every Saturday that I was at a Pop Warner game or at practice did I want to be there.
All right.
But no, that I can't really say that. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I could have been doing something else.
Yeah.
But I did love it.
Yeah.
But I could have been doing something else. Now that I'm not coaching, I see how much time I have available for my life.
All right.
But it wasn't even a question because, man, I'm committed to you being great.
You ain't thinking about that.
Man, if one of my sons would have said they wanted to be a born arrow champ Boy, we would have been at Born Arrow Camp, boy, and the greatest. He would have had the greatest arrow. Hey, all right. Man, we finna win this thing. Come on, let's do it. Like, you gotta be committed like that. But when you committed like that, like, I know some great parents. Like, oh my God, like I said, my friend Drew, man, this man worked. Bro, I swear to this day, right now, I know exactly where this man's standing at this moment. Like, this man worked, honestly, he goes to work at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
He works till 11:30 at night, sometimes 1. But he did that. He provided the best life for his kids.
Yeah.
They went to private school. They had the best trainers. He made sure that they had an opportunity. This is who I watch now.
Yeah.
Like, the cost of that.
All right.
Like, this is my dog. This my dog.
Real,
we ain't sat down at a restaurant and kicked it in over 10 years. You know why? Because he paid that. He invested all that time. Like, he's at work 6 days a week.
Yeah. Getting it.
But both of his kids have degrees now.
All right.
You understand that they had a great high school experience. They had, like, those are things as a father you got to understand.
Yeah.
Bruh, if you really want that for your son, you really want my son gonna go? Yeah, my son going.
Yeah.
Well, what you gonna do?
All right.
What you gonna do? What you gonna give up? Because you have to give up your 11s because his trainer, the trainer that they need to his speed coach, he charged $175 a week.
Yeah.
Period.
Straight up.
What's up? You still want your son to go?
Yeah.
He need good coaching. Like, you want your daughter to cheer? Oh my God. You got girls. You talking about,
boy, that gymnastic cost?
Boy, you get in that gymnastics and cheer, man, them folk finna tear your whole pocket off. That's the cost of being great. But you got to be committed because them kids need that, man. Mm-hmm. You going to have to say, man, I ain't going to be able to grab this whatever.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
gonna make that sacrifice.
I'm actually going to have to grab these shoes when they hit Ross with no box.
All right.
So my son can train with whomever.
All right.
Those are sacrifices that I've had to make those choices.
Straight up.
Like, and you will too. That's the process if you committed.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cost to it, man. Don't make no choice about being no young dad based on what you see on social media. I would advise you not to make no decision in life
at all
based on what you see on social media. But parenting, that might be the number one thing you should not make decisions about. Right. Okay.
And what's crazy, I know cats that be, and I bring that up because I know I done talked with young cats. Yeah. Man, bro, man. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to be a dad. Mm-hmm. You can't wait, bro. You 19, bro. What you talking about? You can't wait. Yes, you can, bro. Like, what's causing you to not be able to wait?
Like, what are you talking about,
bro? Like, what are you, like, no, bro. Like, and like I said, it ain't about, like, scaring people. Like, no, it's just preparing you. I ain't got to scare. I'm going to just prepare. Bro, right? And if I can look at your life and make an evaluation and say, bro, you ain't ready for that. For what? Go find you a wife. You ain't even ready for that yet, bro. You're not ready for that, bro. You're not ready. Focus on you. And that'd be my thing, like, if I could do, I got married young. I ain't have, thank God, I ain't never had no children before marriage, but I got married at what? I was 22. I got married at 23, I think. I was married at 23. My wife was 21. We had our first child that next year. So I was 24 at my first child. So it's like, with me, even that, like, having a child at 24, married at 23, and my wife and I, we've had conversations about this, and we both agreed that, we could have waited a little longer for marriage. We could have did better preparation. Right. We could have, prepared ourselves better financially before we got married, all that. But that's hindsight now. We can look back, but we can look back at it and recognize that, okay, yeah, we was moving. We was young. We were just kind of moving fast. But now that we've experienced that, now I can tell my son and my daughters, like, you ain't got to rush into it. You don't have to. I mean, now if you find that one, you know, I love my wife. I thank God for my wife. If I don't have this wife, I don't want no other wife. Right. I'm good on that. Right. Like, I want to be with this wife. Right. my only wife. Like, and that's all I want. But I can recognize that if I could have waited longer. Right. You know, I could have prepared. You know, I needed more preparation. I wasn't prepared. And because neither one of us was prepared the way that we should have prepared, we went through certain things. Correct. Now, thank God, you know, we still here, you know, after what? We done been together over 10 years now. And we're still going, we're still pushing, and we've grown so much through all of our mistakes and our failures. And we become better people. You know, she's a better mom now, better wife, better husband for me, better father. But even with that, I can recognize that I ain't gonna go tell somebody else because that's my story. Right. You might get in the situation I was getting and you might fold. Right. I believe that was a situation tailored for me. Right. Somebody else get in that position, they gonna fold. Right. You know. So my thing be when I talk with young cats, you know, like, nah, bro, you know, even when I was talking with Jordan, I'm like, man, bro, Walmart gonna be here, cuz. Like, take your butt to school. Right. Go learn. Right. Go prepare yourself to be. I'm at Walmart at 31 because of certain situations I made when I was your age. Correct. Don't make them same mistakes I made because you don't want to be in here at 31 doing what I'm doing. Right. At least, you know. I ain't saying nothing about Walmart. Walmart, it's cool or whatever, but I'm breaking my back every day. Correct. In here busting my behind, bro. Mm-hmm. Because of decisions I made when I was your age, bro. Man. Go to school, bro. Be focused when you in school. Get that over with while you this age so that I'm in school right now. I'm like, bro, I'm in college too. You know, so, and the only reason I'm in college right now at 31 is because when I was your age, I played around with it. Mm-hmm. Don't do like me, bro. Be better than me. Because I'm making the best of the situation now. Like, straight A's, all that. But I wish I just would have been.
It's a little harder now to do it.
It's a little harder now, you know, and I got to do it with kids and a wife and all that. Yeah, you know, so it's like when I see these young cats, I'm just like, nah, bro. I mean, because I might make it look good, you know, at 31 doing the things I'm doing, but I'm like, boy, this will take some real sacrifice, boy. Correct. This here will make you
bow down.
Boy, this thing here it'll do a number on you, boy. If you ain't got it up here, yeah. Boy, it's plenty of days when I feel like folding, bro. Yeah. Like I be wanting to fold. Like, God, I don't know about this here.
It's pressure.
Marriage, kids, the job, all that. I be wanting to just, you know, because it's that much pressure. And so my advice always to young men is, bro, when you 19, 20, 21, man, bro, do what you need to do to prepare yourself.
Set your life up.
Set yourself up, bro.
Set yourself up.
Like, it ain't gonna hurt, I promise.
Set yourself up, bro.
When it's gonna really hurt once you start getting up there, man. And yeah, man, this right here was good, man. I think we've given the people something that they can chew on, you know, because for all of the listeners out there, you know, this type of conversation right here is something that I think you should, dads, if you're listening and you got, you know, 15, 16-year-old sons, let them listen to this. You know, let them hear, you know, real talk between two men, you know, who made mistakes, who haven't always done everything right. Right. You know, but we're making the best of it. Right. But this, I don't want this to just be for the fathers. Man, let your sons listen to this. Let your sons hear this, you know, so that they can be prepared. Yeah. You know, because like I've been saying throughout this whole thing, well, this here was free game today. This here was game, you know, and I believe that if people listen and they take these things and take it as warning, you know, take it as, you know, That's education. You know, man, this is everything you talked about with your experience with fatherhood. Man, that's education.
Right.
You know, that's things that people hear like, nah, bro, like, I made this decision right here. Don't do this right here. I mean, you can do it, but take caution.
Take caution.
Take caution because
Count the cost.
Count that cost. Every decision you make will have an effect on your life and everybody around you.
Absolutely.
Every decision we make as fathers will affect our children.
Yeah.
I'm married. Every decision I make is going to affect my wife.
Yeah.
When you become a father, every decision you make, your decisions don't only affect you now. Your decision will affect everybody up under you.
Downstream effect.
And the more and more you make bad decision, if you continue to do that and you don't fix your decision making, your kids grow up to follow and do the same thing most of the time.
Yeah. Somebody got to defeat the enemy.
Somebody got to, bro.
And Dad, if you don't defeat the enemy will just lay in wait. Like he will continue to devour our children, our dreams, our goals, everything until we make a stand and say that and just understand what God has for your life and be committed not only to your family, but be committed to your relationship with him, because through that relationship, he will empower you to overcome some of these things. There are things that I have overcome that without the love and mercy of Jesus Christ, and I don't say that because I try not to be like no overly like preachy type dude, but I'm just telling you what worked, like facts. Like without my prayer life, without God just like being my strength at my weakest times, when I was making bad decisions, when I make bad decisions, like he just comes in and he'll give me a word of wisdom to get it right. He'll do the same thing for you, but you gotta seek him. You gotta go. You gotta try to touch him, like reach for him, like you've never done. Like if you want to be a good father, if you are a good father, you want to be a better father, like incorporate that. If you haven't, incorporate a relationship with Christ in it, and it just makes it better because there are some things that will make you feel like you're gonna break in this process. And I'm telling you, I've been there, boy.
Yeah, straight up.
Boy, I done been there, boy. I done had them folk pull up on, man, I done been there. I done been through all of it. Like, man, without it, I don't survive. Some of y'all, you feel like you're not going to survive it. She talked to you any kind of way. You go, you made a plan to pick the kids up. When you got there, she was gone. When all of that, like you can't even go to the house and pick up your kids. Y'all got to have an appointment at the sheriff's office to exchange kids. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But God, I'm telling you, that's the secret sauce. But God, like. Cause me, if it's just me, I act a fool and abort all of this that I'm experiencing right now. Like I could have easily, I will, but God, but what lives inside of me overrode some bad programming that was in me. So if you don't know him, you need to know him, because the process you in, man, without him, I'm not gonna say you lose, but you definitely don't come out of it with hair.
All right.
I'm telling you, at a minimum, they're gonna
real.
I'm telling you what's real. What's real. So get to know him, man. Get a relationship. Start praying, like before they even leave your lap, and be out there already. Be praying, covering, pouring, because I'm telling you, I'm at a phase in my life right now where I know for a fact the prayers that I done prayed is in effect right now.
It's real.
But you can't say that if you ain't prayed none. If you thought it was just sweet, you think, oh yeah, I'm going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out because you can't. It don't make sense every day. You need him. You need the wisdom. You need the support. You need him. So if you don't have him, get him.
Yeah.
Get him. I'm telling you.
That's real.
He make it all better.
That's real. That's real, man. Like I've been saying, that's free game. Listen, take heed. I'm just telling y'all, man, you know, it might sound cliche, but that's real talk. You know, if you ain't tried it, go try it. Do that, man. Make that something. That's all I'm saying. Try that. You might not believe it. I don't know. Try that. You need it. I promise you. But we gonna wrap it up right there, man. I think we done gave out enough, man.
Yeah, man.
But man, I appreciate you,
yes,
big
sir.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
that's
you,
what
man.
It is, bro.
Man, that's a wrap for this episode of Dad Can We Talk. Y'all continue to stay tuned. Got more interviews coming. Next episode, man, I got my man's Big Amp gonna be blessing the podcast, man. He, you know, for y'all that don't know, one of Tampa's own, man. Y'all listen to that theme song, man. That I got Mr. Theme Song coming up, man. So y'all be looking out for that next week. But yeah, man. As for this episode 25, we out.